and remind you of today's subject, study MBA in Germany. I'm glad to share this slide because we have our guests here. Thank you very much for your time and for joining today. Organizer of session is German University, Germany's largest study program database, and you can find all of today's presented programs in this study finder and many others as well. There are more than 24,000 study programs offered by German universities, and the choice is yours. You are very free to select one of them or multiple of them that you like and you want to apply to. I frequently also get questions about, can you advise which university could be best fit to me? And it's very difficult for me to advise a study program or a university because it all depends on your preferences, what you want to study. That's the reason why we also host this webinar, so that you get to know the program from the people who are offering this program themselves and also get the questions answered. But we also have something new that is online since a few months, is a university finder. If you want to know information about specific universities, you could also check university profiles and see what the university offers, how many maybe international students they have, and so on, study programs, etc. Articles, we also have articles about MBA, all different topics. In case you are asking now about scholarship or visa, I will also be sharing articles in this regard. The webinars, I already mentioned about them. We also have general webinars when it's only somebody from my German university, not as interactive as we will have it today, when we have guest speakers and you can also get to know the study program. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We are counseling in different languages and happy to share our experience with you. Now, I already used the study finder for you. And if you see, I can select multiple subjects, and I also get suggestions. And for MBA, specifically in English, I have 161-degree programs, but in language, you see, I also selected some programs that have English only with some German language course, which is very advised to also take a look, or English and German, where English is the main language of the instruction. We also have subject pages. I know many of you are also interested in rankings or which kind of universities offer MBA programs, when are the deadlines and all of that. So you can find the information about this in our subject pages. I will also share that in chat. Really briefly about the universities, I don't know if you are joining us for the first time or you already are aware of how German universities are classified, let's say like this. There are universities and universities of applied sciences. We even have an article about the historic changes or how it all developed and so on. But briefly, what I want to mention today is that usually the programs offered by universities are more research theory-oriented. Universities of applied sciences usually have more application, practice-oriented programs. Again, there could be exceptions on both sides. Please always check the program itself and really understand what the program is about. And I want to mention about PhD. Frequently get the question, can I do a PhD if I study at the University of Applied Sciences? So nowadays you can also do it either with the university itself, or they could have some cooperations with research centers or universities. It's up to them, but you can definitely do that. Today and during all the webinars, usually we have lots of questions about qualifications. Can I apply with this and that degree? You are very welcome to share these questions, but just as an advice, if you want, it's always nice to also check if you qualify kind of a self-test, if you meet the basic requirements they have. Like basic, I mean about the hard requirements, you know, CV, you can do it yourself, but if you do not have work experience, probably you need to take a bit more time to apply and so on. So it's always nice to check that. And then, of course, very welcome to share the question again during today's webinar or afterwards with the contact persons. All right, so my part is now done, as I would like to give the mic to our first speaker, Kamila Topal from Offenburg University of Applied Sciences, who will be presenting the first MBA, and this will be MBA International Business Consulting.
Okay, good. So thank you very much. My name is 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵, and I'm going to present our MBA program, International Business Consulting, today. Just to give an idea where we are University of Applied Sciences, and we are situated in the southwest of Germany. Our neighbor countries are France and Switzerland. So the nearest airports are Frankfurt and Strasbourg, and our region is the cross-national metropolitan area with the high employment prospects, and it's one of Germany's strongest economic regions. So therefore, we also have some extraordinarily high living standards, I can say. Our university is University of Applied Sciences. It's rather young, and as Nino told us before, University of Applied Sciences are praxis-oriented, so our master and bachelor's degree programs are the main aim of our programs is generally producing the specialists for the job market. We are not a large university. We have around 4,000 students, and 12% of our students are international students, and the part of international students is growing as our programs. Presently, we have 7 international master degree programs in general, and next year we will be also having an international bachelor's degree. We have 80 partner universities and a very good network with the local companies. What is special about us is that we have special services for the international students. First of all, what's also one of the most important things, I guess, when you study abroad is finding an accommodation. And we provide this help for each enrolled student, that we help our students to find accommodation before they join the programs. We have buddy program where senior students take care for the junior students, and orientation events to help our students to accommodate when they first join the program. Each master's degree program has a coordinator. For example, our program, MBA program, International Business Consulting, also has a coordinator, which is me. And we have German Summer Language School, which is run before the start of the lectures. And also we have ongoing language courses during the lecture period. We have cultural and social program, as we are aware the study experience is not just only the lectures, but also knowing the country better. So therefore, we organize excursions, get-togethers, and staying active is also important. So we have a large offer of the sports events as well. And besides that, we have a senior service project where the senior German citizens take care for the students. They, for example, support students by their daily life, and some of them even invite to their homes to show how the daily German families function. We also have job application trainings and recruiting event at the university, as well as the international alumni network of the graduate school. About the program. Our program, the first cohort of the students was actually started in 1999. I should say that it's rather an early date for the international master's programs at the University of Applied Sciences. Next winter semester intake will be the 27th intake. So I can tell that in comparison to other programs, we do have much experience in terms of providing MBA program for international students. The program accreditation, it was first accredited by FIBA, and then we also had the rankings in QS. And once the foundation of the Black Forest Business School was also completed, the program is a part of the Black Forest Business School, we switched our accreditation system to the university accreditation system. So the program is accredited through the system accreditation of the university. To give you a little bit insight how the program works in terms of the curriculum, our program has 3 semesters, winter semester, summer semester, and again winter semester. We only have winter semester intake. And the courses that you see here, these are compulsory mandatory courses which students complete in the first 2 semesters. In the 3rd semester, students write their master thesis, and at that time, it's actually when the most of the students also start doing internships or doing part-time jobs. During the first 2 semesters, they mainly focus on their studies. We have full-time program, and we are a public university, so therefore the focus in the first 2 semesters is also on the courses themselves, and less of the jobs and internships. But in the 3rd semester, it's when the students also write their master thesis. They do not have to attend any courses then, and can actually start working part-time or in internship or as a working student. The compulsory and mandatory courses are also complemented by the elective courses. Those courses that you see at the moment are the part of our electives catalog. It's more or less the same in each year, in each cohort, but we also develop our electives depending on the demand of the students. If they would definitely like to have some specialization in particular area, we also strive to provide these courses and make them available. You can also see German language as an elective. At our program, we generally provide 3 levels of German courses, and they are also included in the program. So there are no extra fees for these German courses. We just like to provide our students an opportunity to learn German throughout their studies. Our program is international, not in terms of the student body, but also in terms of the professors. In fact, as the University of Applied Sciences, we also focus on the hands-on practice. We also focus on the practice coming, like teaching coming from the practice. So therefore, the 60% of our professors and lecturers are externals, and they also come from different countries, so that this international perspective is also provided through the teaching staff. Student life is not only about the lectures, it's also about the extracurricular activities, and here is where we also provide our students experiences outside of the classroom. To start with, we have an orientation week in Montafon. Montafon is situated in the Austrian Alps. It's a mountainous region where we go with all students for a week. And during this week, students receive some seminars like on the body language, on the business game. They also socialize with one another so that we can provide this team experience for the following study courses. I can tell that it's really a highlight of our study program that we do right at the beginning of the studies. We stay in the hotel during this week, and the costs and everything is already included in our program. There are no extra fees that are required. The tuition fees and all other fees are already in the the program. We also have some incentives and outdoor activities during the other semesters. And here you can see the pictures of our former IBC students, like in the cooking competition, or you can see them also visiting the companies. We provide the company excursions where the students can have the insight of how the companies work. Sometimes the companies also provide some cases so that the students can also work on the cases and supporting the companies with the different perspectives that they also bring with them. The application to our program is rather simple. You don't need to register in UniAssist. You don't need any third party to apply. The application is done at our university. You don't need to have your degree recognized to be able to apply. We only have two requirements. It's 2 years of work experience after the graduation and also a bachelor's degree. Having this, you can just use the university portal to apply. And the first screening stage will also tell you if your qualifications make you eligible to apply. And throughout the process, you will also have a contact person who will be guiding you through the steps. We have a rolling basis on applications, meaning that the earlier you apply, the earlier you can receive your admission letter. Coming to an end of my presentation, to sum up, I can tell that we have a small student-teacher ratio and hands-on instruction. We are an accredited MBA program, a public university with a full-time program. We have close integration with the regional economy, and we have comprehensive individual services for international students. And last but not least, we have a safe and friendly environment with easy access to Europe's tourist attractions. So if you have any questions, you are always welcome to reach out. Here you can see the email address of the program or the telephone number. And I will be very happy to answer your questions. And if you'd like to know more, we can also schedule a Zoom meeting, an individual Zoom meeting.
I would like to bring everybody's attention towards Professor Dr. 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈, who will be presenting MBA full-time, part-time from Hochschule Bayerischen Wirtschaft.
Thank you. Yeah, so we are a small private university in Munich. We are maybe 600 students in size. Also, the horrible German name, Hochschule der Bayerischen Wirtschaft. Yeah, what it means is we are the university of the industry. Yeah, so legally our parent company is the industry association. Yeah, the 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵𝘯𝘪𝘕 here in Bayern. And also we think we have a faculty where we have people who really come from management positions and have had responsibility or are currently doing the job. Yeah, so then you not only get the state-of-the-art know-how, but you also get the perspective or the experience of people who know what it means. Yeah, if you have the responsibility. Munich, yeah, is of course one of the big cities in Germany in the southeast, and we can proudly say, yeah, we have one of the major centers here for science, for technology, for finance. They are third largest city in Germany, and then the Bavarians always think we are also number first in quality of life. And we have here quite a few of the internationally known blue chips, names like Siemens, BMW, maybe also Allianz or Infineon, yeah, standing for that. We are lucky to also have the European headquarters of a few of the tech leaders like Google and Apple and Microsoft and Salesforce. And around that, we have a vibrant startup and AI ecosystem. Yeah, So just these days and weeks, yeah, we hear that we have the largest number of AI startups in Germany, in our region at the moment. Yeah, and as I say, yeah, the school is originated from business. Yeah, we are in on the market for 12 years now, I think. Owned by business and made for business. So an MBA, yeah, if you want to have an MBA, what does it give you? Yeah, so in our case, we want to provide you with a very good understanding of the digital business, yeah, of the business of the present. So yeah, and we think this requires, yeah, then an integrated view of things that start with the market and the customer, always in business, with include the product development, some understanding of the analytics and the AI, and then also how to organize and manage the development and the business process and bring it to the market in a successful way. Yeah, so that is one aspect of your program. And then also, we think it's about leadership and entrepreneurship. Yeah. So the ideal candidates here, we think, yeah, would be people who already have a bachelor's degree, not necessarily from the business school, maybe even especially for people who come from engineering or from IT or computer science, things like that. And here, I think we are then giving you a plus in terms of leadership and entrepreneurship. Yeah. So, what does it mean to make decisions about the strategy of a company? Yeah, to highlight the potentials, to make the fundamental decisions. What does it mean to understand the key business functions? There is a technical side, yeah, to what you can learn at a business school. Yeah, so then in finance, in accounting, in legal, in organization, yeah, there's skill that is useful to acquire, so you can sort of take part in the discussion with the experts and hopefully also direct that. And then, of course, there's an aspect of leadership and team building. Yeah, so that you also get some understanding of the social fabric of the team and the company, and how this plays together. Yeah, the motivation, the social structure, and then the business structure or the functional side of the company. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, an MBA program is about networking and getting to know getting some contact to the business practice. Yeah, so yeah, you want to build contact with professors, with companies, with lecturers. Yeah, we will have excursions, yeah, to bring you to some leading companies here in the region, to some industry partners, and then we have some of those people also here. So you will see guest speakers, or we do something like a fireside evening, so that you get a bit of a more personal exchange. Yeah, so that would be, I think, the three major points of interest in the MBA program. Yeah, expertise about the digital business, general business expertise, and then you have this networking and practice aspect. Yeah. The way how we do this, yeah, we think that we teach what we do. Yeah, so our university is originating there, and then the people who teach you are right out of business. Yeah, so then the lawyer is a lawyer. The guy who does data analytics was a managing partner of Accenture Germany. The guy who's doing the IT course is a managing department in a robotics company, and so it goes on. Yeah, so the direct contact to some leading management people to prepare you for this role and for this enhancement. Yeah, I think, when you come from a solid fundament from tech or IT or engineering. Yeah, probably that's what our students want to add when they do this program. Yeah. If I look at my graduates, yeah, I see them in small and in large companies. Yeah, I would say it's about 50-50 or so. Yeah, that I see the what we call the Mittelstand in Germany. Yeah, the medium-sized companies. In that case, it would be a couple hundred to a couple thousand employees. Fine, high-tech international companies, mostly or almost all of them, I would say. Yeah. And then partly I see people also joining the big names, yeah, which I mentioned earlier. This, of course, depends on the individual and on a good result. But I can say that I've seen all the big names happening. Yeah. So then, of course, I love to talk about it. Yeah. That our concept works. Yeah, and that actual graduates actually make the step into some of those. Yeah. Also, yeah, then here the consulting names are included. Yeah, could be the Big Four or some of the consulting only firms that we also see. Well, how we do this, just to mention it, I think everybody is doing it in a similar way. Yeah, so of course, we want your active involvement. So in the master's program and especially in an MBA program, it's not an option to lean back sort of, yeah, and let somebody tell you the stuff or so. Yeah, we do high quality teaching, we have small groups, and then we want your active participation. Yeah, in the case study, in the group work, in business cases, presentations, discussions, and so on. And the obvious reason is, yeah, it's not because we are too lazy to lecture you. I can tell as a professor, I mean, it's the easiest thing for me is to lecture until there's smoke coming out of your ears, if you like it, yeah. But then that's not how you actually learn, yeah. So that's the experience, of course, and probably your experience as well. Also, there's research about it, yeah, that then where you make the lasting connections and the stuff you don't forget so easily. That's where you had to do something for yourself. Yeah, so then that's the nature of the program, that you have an intense workload, not only in class, but also then with various exercises where we want to get you going and provoke your thinking and your discussion also with your fellow students. Yeah. The program itself is a mix. Yeah. So it's not that everything is, you know, a one lecture per week format or so. We also have some formats where we take a subject and do this in a intense focus week. We maybe also have some stuff where we have an evening course. So as we heard earlier, we are also not an exception here. We have a bit of an eye in the direction that maybe you want to have a internship or a working student job on the side. So then that's possible. Although I always would have a bit of a word of caution in the direction that the program is intense. Yeah, I mean, you want to take something away from this. We of course have quite enough to talk about. So then you have to see that you keep the balance, yeah, between the program and your practical experience. What you get from us is a master's degree program in English with international participation. Our bachelor programs, maybe half of our students is German. Our master's programs, the other half is English. International is pretty global. Yeah, we have a majority, I would say, between the Gulf and India, but we also have people from Southeast Asia or from Latin America. And maybe the German participation in the English-speaking program is some 10 to 20% or so. Yeah, that's a picture that you can expect. The program is designed as a 2-semester course. And if you like, you can do a 4-semester variety. I will not go into the details of the program. It's attached here in the end, and probably my university can provide it to you later on if you are interested in details. Simply the 4-semester version is, cutting the semesters in half and stretching it over time. For people who are interested to have a bigger share in the practical experience versus university split. Yeah. The prerequisite, you need a university degree, a bachelor's degree. Normally, with a standard bachelor, you would have to provide 3 years of qualified post-graduation business experience. Yeah, qualified means it should be on the job that you learned. Yeah, obviously, yeah, you don't want to have your neighbor in the course who studied IT and then spent 3 years flipping hamburgers or so. Yeah, so that has to be in the area that you learned about. In some cases, people have a shorter bachelor's degree, and then they need another year of experience. But that we can find out when you apply, and we go into a more personal discussion and we talk about the details. And of course, yeah, we need an English certificate. Yeah. How to get into this? Well, we have a program start in middle of March and another one in October. When we talk here, and if I consider the application process and the visum process, I think that realistically, with the audience I'm talking to right now, October is a realistic date. Yeah, the 6 weeks to March, I think not realistically feasible. Yeah, and then we have a standard process. Yeah, with a motivation letter, CV, your certificates, and then we can have a personal discussion, likely with me, but maybe also with a colleague. Yeah, and then you can have a closer impression. Yeah, so that's more or less it. Yeah, we have here the contact details. Yeah, so yeah, Sarah is our first contact in the student advisory services, and from there on, yeah, we can provide you with more information. And just to mention it in the very end, yeah, maybe for those of you who are not totally decided on an MBA program yet, yeah, maybe you also want to have a look at our master's programs. As I say, half of our audience, 3 interesting master students in digital factory for the engineers, digital business, and in cybersecurity. Maybe also an option if you have a closer look at Hochschule der Bayerischen Wirtschaft. All right, yeah, then thank you very much. That would be my contribution here.
To Berlin, from where we have 𝘱𝘢𝘵𝘚 presenting Berlin part-time and full-time MBAs.
It's Fleur, and I'm here to explain the Berlin full-time and part-time MBA here. So very welcome to all of you. Thank you. So I'll just skip through here. Okay, so warm welcome then from the Berlin School of Economics and Law. We also have a bit of a long German name, the Hochschule für Wirtschaft und Recht in Berlin. We're actually one of the largest state-funded universities of applied sciences here, and because of our location, then we have really close connections between theory and practice. We have a lot of academic experts here who have extensive management and industry experience. Everyone needs a certain number of years experience to teach with us, and our campus is located right in the center of Berlin. It's very vibrant here. We have easily reachable via public transport, and we have a very, very friendly but also small campus where our students feel at home. Okay. working now? Just one moment. Now the PowerPoint is spinning. So anyway, I'll just explain about the Berlin Professional School. We're actually an institute for further education. We focus on master's programs, and we've actually pioneered MBA education since 1992. We're a very international student body with diverse academic and professional backgrounds. And to date, we have well over 5,400 graduates from 30 different nations. So here I will just explain some key details for the full-time MBA. This runs for 15 months. It's also a very intense learning program. We will start in September 2026. We start around mid-September each year, and our tuition fees are 19,900, which is very, very good value for money for an MBA. We also organized an international study visit last year. This was done in Poznan in Poland. And our students in this current cohort will also go back to our partners there and have a really good few days doing interactive classes, having some cultural trips, and getting to know some of the companies that are located there. So the Berlin Part-Time MBA, this is really like our sister program. It runs for 24 months instead of 15, so that our students can continue to work full-time whilst they study. We'll also start a little later in October 2026, and the schedule is designed so that students come for a blocked teaching long weekend once a month, and this really gives them a chance to meet each other, meet their teachers, and have a very intensive learning weekend. The tuition fees are a bit higher to reflect the length of time, and also because of the exchange visits that we also have with the University of Porto and Wichita State University, which are always very, very exciting and full-on programs with our partners. So both programs are taught in English, as you might expect for an international MBA. We do also offer German language courses, so it doesn't matter if you don't have any German when you start with us. These are run through the from the beginning up until the end of the year. So for the first, what we call the winter semester here. We also have a very international and diverse student body that reflects Berlin itself as our capital city. And we do have some European and some German students as well. And we've also had some international students who speak very good German. So I think this combination of having international student body, but also some German language courses is a good one. What's very specific about our MBA is this strong focus on leadership and developing your soft skills, because we really want our students to become the best leaders that they can be, especially in the new digital workplace, the new digital world that we find ourselves in. So this is a very subjective module that really gets people to reflect upon their leadership skills. What have they encountered in the past as good or bad leadership? How do they want to change their leadership style or adapt it? We're also very proud of our AMBER accreditation. There's only a handful of universities that actually have this accreditation. And, from around 75 countries across the world, maybe 2% have this accreditation. Here's our program structure. So you can see that it's formed in the shape of a T. So the core modules are offered in the first semester. These are really classic key modules that you would expect for an MBA these days. You've got your marketing, your human resources, accounting, finance. Doesn't mean you're going to necessarily come out as a specialist in these areas, but you will have enough skills and input so that you can really, let's go back here, so that you can have those kind of maybe difficult, tricky conversations when you go back to your working lives with people from those departments. The leadership development module that stretches across the whole year, and there is a compulsory and elective elements to this, and it focuses very much on your personal development and your professional skills as a leader. We want to offer flexibility with our MBA program, which is why in the summer you can choose your electives. This is when things get very, very interesting. People might find that the pace picks up and it gets quite intense, but this is when there's a lot of learning by doing. So you can customize your MBA with our electives. So for example, we offer digital business and transformation, consulting for responsible transformation, entrepreneurship and design thinking. We have innovation, we have sustainable finance, and we also have our leadership electives too. And then in the summer, maybe it's not a big surprise, we would like our students to write a master's thesis. There are no more classes, and it's also a chance for you to really put that theory that you've gained and those practical experiences outside the classroom into your own project. And this is great. I mean, it is written in English. It is a lot, but everyone makes it. And if you can go away with your MBA degree and show your future employers that you have written your master's thesis and passed it in English, then this is really good for your CV. So what else do we offer? What sets us apart here in Berlin? Well, what we also adapted recently was the module Doing Business in Germany. It's only available for the full-time students. That's because really our part-time students are here in Germany or Europe. So we want to get you acquainted with the German business environment. We explain the ecosystem and the startup system in Berlin and Germany. We open up a network and collaboration initiatives as well. So we have a lot of cooperation partners, which you can read here on screen. I've already referenced our module leadership development. So this will very much enhance your personal communication skills and again gives you a good solid foundation for you to become the best leader that you can. Teaching methods are mixed because, like my previous presenter explained, we don't want our teachers just to stand at the front of the classroom telling you what the latest theory is, or even an old theory which is out of date. So we would very much like to encourage a two-way interaction between our students and our teachers. We have used case studies, we have a practical application, we invite guest speakers from companies around Berlin. We also have site visits and company tours. In the full-time program, we go to Leipzig and visit large companies there. And we really encourage interaction and discussion because that's the only way that the MBA is going to work is when everyone contributes to it. We have a very dedicated career service, as I know that there's been some questions already in the chat about this. So our careers team will contact you right from the beginning. Even from day one, you can use our career services team, and that stretches right out until you become one of our alumni. As an alumni, you will always have access to our network and to our career service. We have a weekly newsletter with job positions, which have opened up, which we think are interesting to our students. We offer workshops, a CV check, interview guidance, etc. So here you can see some photos of our MBA, some things that we've been doing to give you a bit of an idea of what we actually get up to. And the admission requirements. Well, we do need you to have a university degree, bachelor or bachelor plus master. It doesn't matter in which major it was. We have all sorts here. You do need 3 years of postgraduate work experience, which should be relevant to what you've studied or relevant to an MBA. We also require excellent language skills because we do teach in English. And like I said, you don't need those German language skills at the beginning. We also offer our own online application process. So was mentioned already that Uni Assist is not required. On our website, you can find more details about the documents you need to submit. Then if you fulfill the requirements and you're accepted to an interview, you will meet our academic director. And about 1 week after the interview, then you will receive our final decision. So here you can read through the very good reasons to study at the BPS. We are internationally accredited, very dedicated staff. We also have small groups. That's also very beneficial. And what people really value is the personal support that our faculty and our staff offer. Our tuition fees are reasonable. And, you know, we really offer you this great intercultural experience when you come to Berlin. We also have Berlin MBA ambassadors. You can find details about those on our websites, but here's just some pictures of them as well. So they can actually be emailed directly should you have questions for them, which perhaps I can't answer you directly. Before I finish, I'd like to draw your attention to an upcoming event, which I can also send via an email afterwards, our Meet an MBA Lecturer event on the 11th of February. Again, there are details on the BPS MBA website. It's free. You just need to register, and then we'll send you an invitation. This little toolbar just wants to keep showing itself. So there you go. There are my colleagues. We have the two academic directors for the full-time program, 𝘗𝘀_𝘪𝘚𝑏auer, and the part-time program, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘺𝘳𝘕𝑔_𝘁𝑡𝑢𝑟st, and also my program coordinator for the part-time degree, that's Andrea Winzek, and she would gladly answer your questions about the part-time program. So all those details are on the website. And here is a photo of our graduation.
Thank you very much, Flo. I
Okay.
will share the application. Yeah, I will share the application portal now. I didn't do it earlier because then this pop-up was coming and I didn't want to interrupt.
The pop-up.
So
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. So
yeah, all good. So yeah, and I will also put the link or the email now for further questions. Good. Thank you very much once again to all the speakers. Also, thank you for taking some questions in written. And let's start with the live Q&A. Professor Jakob, there are two questions for you. I will read them out. MBA seems closely connected to industry in Bavaria. How visible is this connection during the program? Through guest lectures, projects? And the second one is, is a timetable fixed or is it more about electives?
Yeah, the connection to the industry, yeah, is sort of on top to the curriculum, yeah, so that we make an excursion, yeah, we visit companies, or visit the industry association, or invite people here, yeah. In the actual classes or courses, as I say, yeah, we think we have do our best, yeah, to bring to you some lecturers who really also convey this business experience and this sense of responsibility and management. And the other question was, sorry.
About the is the structure
The elective,
of the program?
exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do have an elective element where we offer some more business focused and some more industrial engineering focused sort of headlines. Yeah, but it's not switched on at the moment. Yeah, so the courses that people see in the exposé, yeah, which I think you can also make accessible. Yeah, yeah, that would be sort of the version that we offer at the moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just, if I may, just one thing, that there is also some German courses taking place for master students. Yeah, this would be something you could do on top. Yeah, also we have some, doing business in Germany thing, or some scientific writing course. So yeah, but then again, those are not included in this 2-semester program, which is very focused. But then you can sort of book that on top if you are interested.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Regarding the application process, there are two questions that I saw that I want to ask everybody, and let's start with Professor 𝘱𝘱𝘳𝘵 again. First, about the interview. Is it a standard interview, a case interview, or both?
This is just a standard personal interview. Yeah, so we do not treat you to an exam situation or so. Yeah, but yeah, we want to find out whether we are right for you and you are right for us, whether the program makes sense. Yeah, but no exam situation, no tricky, no testing or case solving or so.
Camilla, maybe if you could mention about this as well.
Yeah. An interview, a personal interview, is not a part of our admission process. We make decisions on admissions based on the paper documents. In some rare cases, we might offer an applicant to have an interview. In that case, we would have a standard interview procedure.
And Fleur, you also mentioned interview.
Yes, we do have hold interviews for people who pass like the first screening when they've fulfilled all official or formal requirements. And like Mr. 𝘱𝘱𝘳𝘱𝘳𝘱 said, we want to get to know the person. We need to see, really what their motivation is, if they fit to the course, and give them the chance to ask us questions. They also need to know that we are right for them, because it's a big decision to take an MBA, to take any type of master's degree, really. So yes, an interview. It's not a case study, it's not a test, but we do have a kind of a one-to-one interview.
Thank you. MBAs are usually about the work experience, and then people also wanting to change position, or also, I don't know, all of this different things. And today we had questions like, can I do an MBA if I already work? Is it also possible to stay in Germany after the MBA, like due to or thanks to the connections that the programs have? And also, how manageable is it with full-time work? And I think this was all about the work thing. But let's start with Professor 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘳𝘱𝘳𝘱. The other two also answered this in written, but I still want to voice it again live. So is it doable to do full-time work and an MBA with you?
Full-time, I would see a bit critical. Yeah, it's fairly standard for our master students, that they have a job on the side. As a teacher also, I appreciate, because prerequisite for the MBA especially is already work experience, but then building on that and expanding that is always useful. So not a bad idea. Then there's sort of from the university and from the public regulation side, maybe there's two things you want to know. So the regulation in Germany works like that. There is this official status of a working student. And that means you have a student visum, you have a social insurance as a student, you are enlisted as a student. And then to have a job on the side is rather easy. And the companies even like it because your social insurance is taken care of. Yeah? And all this works up to a half-time job. Yeah? So then, so long they see you as a student who has a job on the side. If you want to have a full-time job, then that flips. Then they see you as a worker with a university on the side. And I don't even know the details. Yeah, but then apparently it becomes more complex and less feasible because I hardly see anybody do it. And then from the university side, I would also say, you still have this workload of an intense, challenging MBA program. So I think good idea to do it in the half-time modus then. And the part-time modus, so the 4-semester modus to consider. And even then, I would say, but the half-time job is enough. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Full-time work and university, it's theoretically possible, but then you also want to have a life maybe or so. So I wouldn't recommend it so much.
Camilla?
Yes, same here. I also would say that the full-time job considering the regulations and also the workload, it's practically not possible. And at our program, as in general, we have the workload of 30 hours. So it means that having a full-time job, it would mean that you would have 70 hours per week, which it's very hard to imagine. And although we do not have the mandatory attendance, still some projects require that students are on site. So therefore, at our program, it's not possible.
Thank you. And Fleur.
I can only really support what the other two presenters have said. It's a full-time program, and the name says it all. You can certainly work up to 20 hours a week as per German labor law. Maybe later in your studies. I wouldn't recommend it in the first semester because there's just too much going on if you're coming from abroad. We also offer the part-time program where people can continue to work. I did answer that in the chat though. If you're coming from abroad, it's quite difficult to get a visa for a part-time MBA, but please contact me if anyone has any other questions.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about other official requirements. Do you have expectations regarding GPA, or more work experience is more important? And I did not read it all the details, but there was something mentioned about ECTS. So do you also pay attention to ECTS? I know minimum 180 should be there to be able to continue further studies, but is it possible to also compensate in case you're expecting 210 ECTS with work experience and all of that? I see Camilla's answer first here in the chat. Maybe if you want to answer this one.
So first, let's start with the ECTS. We have our program is a 3-semester program with a 90 ECTS. And according to the regulations, to get a master's degree, you need to complete 300 ECTS in general. So therefore, we have this 180 or 210. So we have the requirement of 210 ECTS. But nonetheless, the missing ECTS can be compensated through the work experience or through the additional exams, or even by taking the courses at the program. All this is communicated to the applicants from the very beginning. If we see that it's missing, we communicate that it's missing, but you can compensate in this or that way. Yeah. And
GPA?
GPA. So we have a holistic approach to applications where work experience, recommendation, motivation, GPA, and English proficiency all taken into account. We generally do not have these cutoff lines when we say that according to the German grading system, it should be 2.5, and everything that is worse not accepted. We do not have this cutoff line. But I can generally tell that GPA and English proficiency play an important role in the admission process. And of course, we look into the work experience, so it's difficult to separate all of these factors. So we see them as a whole.
Thank you. Fleur, if you have feedback in this regard?
GPA or GMAT is recommended for non-national EU nationals, but if applicants don't have this, then it's okay. We don't require people to take an extra test just for applying to the university. Like Camilla said, we look at the whole application, the official requirements on the website. So an undergraduate degree with the relevant ECTS is required. It has to be the equivalent to a German bachelor, 3-year bachelor. super English skills and the work experience. The work experience and the motivation is probably something we would look at more. If somebody has GPA or GMAT, then super, put it in your application. It would strengthen your case, but it's not something we really go through the application looking for to see if people have that.
Mm-hmm. Just to maybe I didn't say it correctly. Like you don't pay attention to the like not pay attention, but it's not that you don't have a cutoff for the previous bachelor's grade, right?
Oh, do you mean like the grade for the bachelor?
Yes.
The actual like the level if it's a first or a second
Yeah, if it's
degree. Right.
not the first or second, not about like collected some of the grades from the bachelor, like
No,
I don't see it
we
also on
don't
the
have the
page.
ECT. So the ECTS would be standard, like the 210, but we don't look at necessarily the grade of what the person got. No.
Good.
Is
So,
that
and
your
then GMAT is
question?
optional. Yeah.
GMAT is optional. So the
Yes.
actual, but we don't look at the grade. I would say more that we look at the potential for the applicants, like which direction they're going in. And, we also have people who maybe their degree was some time ago and, we all go through different stages of our lives. We change, we adapt. Maybe learning wasn't our thing a few years ago, but now it is. And that's the whole point of lifelong learning. So the grade per se is not given particular weight.
Thank you. And Professor Jacobi, the same
Yeah,
questions.
thank you. Basically the same here. Yeah, no hard cutoff regarding a grade or GPA or a GMAT score or something. Yeah, your general job experience, the feedback of your company, the subject you come from. Yeah, these are also interesting points. The volume, maybe so again, Germany has this 300 ECTS for a master's degree prerequisite. I said it is basically a 2-semester program. So then it would be if you, for some reason, come with 240 ECTS already because you did a certain bachelor's or you already did a master's program on the technical side or something, then you would even get away with 2 years of professional experience. The standard case, the 210 ECTS bachelor would have 3 years. Some cases have 180 ECTS bachelors and they would need a 4th year. Yeah, and if you want, if I may call it that, the tariff, so to say, is 1 year of work experience for 30 ECTS. With 210 and 3 years as sort of the standard case. Yeah?
Great, thank you so much.